What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining the wholesale real estate transaction process for you. Now, this is going to be very beneficial because you need to know the process of a wholesale deal transaction in order to be able to successfully close a wholesale deal. And the most common question that motivated sellers and homeowners ask you when you're on the phone with them or when you're trying to close the deal is, what does the process look like? And if you're not able to make them feel comfortable with the process and understand the process, then you're never going to gain their trust. And in order to do business with people in sales, you need to be able to gain the customer's trust, the prospect's trust. And so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how the transaction works and also, in simple terms, how to explain it to the motivated seller. Overall, though, it's simple all around. Doing the deal, explaining it, it's all very simple. So this video is going to be very helpful for you. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can get all the value that is inside. Also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about what is wholesaling and what does that transaction process look like and how to explain that. So wholesaling real estate is very simple. Essentially, it is simple arbitrage. Buy low, sell high. All we're doing is finding a gap in the marketplace of where we can make some money by getting in the middle. So let me explain. What wholesaling is you're going to do marketing direct to a homeowner, and you're going to find a motivated seller that wants to sell their property and that they're willing to sell the property at somewhat of a discount. Once you find out that they want to sell the property at somewhat of a discount, you negotiate with them and you get their property under contract on a purchase agreement to buy the property. And by the way, guys, if you need these contracts, you can go download them for completely free at jacobblank.com. There's going to be a link down below in the description for that. So you're going to get their property under contract, let's say for $100,000, okay? The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to get photos of the property and you're going to market that deal out to cash buyers. So you're going to say, hey, is there anybody out there, an investor that wants to buy this deal? I'm trying to sell it for $120,000. Once you find an investor that wants to buy the deal for $120,000, you're going to use what's called an assignment contract to sell your rights to that deal to the investor. Yeah, that's right. All you're doing is selling your rights. You have rights to the deal because you have it under contract, and you're going to assign those rights, give the buyer the power to perform on that contract on your behalf for a fee. So essentially, you're just finding deals, finding a buyer that wants the deal, and getting paid a fee. So you have the property under contract with the seller for $100,000. You found the buyer, they want to buy the deal at $120,000. You will use an assignment contract to assign this contract to that buyer. You make that $20,000 fee. Just like that. That is the process of wholesaling real estate. Now you're probably wondering, who's going to do this whole transaction? Who's going to handle all the paperwork? Who's going to record it with the county? Who's going to do all that? Well, you're going to use a title company for that. Now, if you don't know what a title company is, they are a company that issues insurance policies on transactions, and they do lien searches and title searches on assets in order to make sure that there is no judgments and that the property is free and clear, so that way it can be sold without any liability to the next person. So every single real estate transaction, traditional real estate transaction, whether it's a realtor, regular sale, whatever it is, they use a title company, and you're going to be using a title company as well. So now, let's talk about, now that I've explained what wholesaling is and who's going to be the title company facilitating the transaction, let's talk about the process, what it looks like for you as the wholesaler, and then later in the video I'll get to how to explain it to the seller. So, let's talk about it. So, first off, what you need to know is once you have the property under contract, okay, the next step, so you've done marketing to find a motivated seller, you got the property under contract, the next step is going to be sending that contract to the title company. You're going to send that to a title company. Guys, there's a link down below in the description, and at jacobblank.com, you're able to get an investor-friendly title company list, so that way you know what title company to use in your state. But you're going to send that contract to the title company, and you're also going to send them all the seller's contact information. So that way, the title company can reach out to the seller, get information from them, and order all the paperwork that they need to order. So now that the title company has the contract and all the information about the seller, you then are going to get photos of the property. You can either have the seller send the photos, or you can go out there and get the photos, or send somebody out there to get photos. Once you have photos, you're going to then market the property, okay? As you're marketing the property, you're going to stay in touch with the seller. Just keep them informed. Say the title company's working on all the paperwork. Everything's going good. And then once you find a cash buyer, that cash buyer might want to walk the property. They might not. Then once you find out a buyer that really wants to buy the deal, they're a serious, real buyer, then you're going to write up an assignment contract saying this buyer is going to buy this property for this amount. And by the way, guys, again, those contracts are available at jacobblank.com. You're then going to send that contract for the buyer to sign. Once the buyer signs that assignment contract, it's going to state on there that the buyer needs to deposit non-refundable earnest money. So once you have that assignment contract signed, what you need to do is you need to send that contract to the title company now and send the title company the buyer's contact info. So that way the title company can reach out to the buyer and get the buyer's non-refundable earnest money deposit. And so that way the title company has all the contracts. They have both sides of the transaction, your contract with the seller, your contract with the buyer. Now, title has everything they need to do in order to get the deal closed. So what you're now going to do is you're just going to need to stay in the loop. Touch base with title every few days, make sure everything's going smooth. That title report's going to come back when they do the title search to make sure there's no liens. You're going to hope that the property doesn't have any major issues with it, and then you just pretty much wait for the close date that's on your contracts of when you set the deal to close. And on that day, title is going to have the buyer sign closing docs. They're going to have the seller sign closing docs. Buyer is going to wire in their money, and around noon, the property and the deal will record with the county, and then the deal is done. They're going to cut you a check or a wire for your assignment fee, and they're going to send the seller a check or a wire for their proceeds from the sale. So that's as simple as it is. That's the process. Now, real estate can be tricky. Every day in this business is interesting. So there can be road bumps and issues with title and certain deals, and a seller can go crazy, and a house could burn down, and you never know what's going to happen when you're at point A to point B on a real estate transaction. But that's the basis of how a smooth transaction process looks like. And if there's any road bumps, you just need to use resourcefulness. Be resourceful to move past issues and get the deal done. So that's what the process looks like. All right, so now that we've covered what is wholesaling real estate, what does it look like? Now we've covered how that transaction process looks like for the wholesaler. Now let's talk about how to explain it to the seller. Like I was saying, sellers, their most frequent question that they're going to ask you is, hey, what does the process look like? So once you make them an offer and they like the offer, usually that's the next thing that they say. So you're going to say, that's an amazing question, because you always want to compliment them for their questions. That's how you build rapport in sales and build a relationship with them. So now you're going to tell them, that's an excellent question. Shirley, I am so glad you asked that. The process is exactly the same as any other traditional real estate transaction. The only difference here is that we're going to be buying the property in as-is condition. We're going to be paying cash, and we're going to be covering all the closing costs, and there's no commissions, so nothing is coming out of your pocket. Other than that, the transaction is the exact same as any other real estate transaction. So essentially, I'm going to send you an offer, and once we sign that offer and agree on it, I'm going to go ahead and send that to a title company. A title company is a neutral third party that handles all types of real estate transactions, and they're going to handle our transaction. They're going to do all the paperwork, they're going to do a title search, and they're going to prepare and do everything. So once I send the paper, the offer to the title company, they are then going to contact you. They're going to collect some information from you about the property and about the mortgage and stuff like that. And then from there, they're going to handle all the paperwork, the title search, and we'll pretty much just wait till the day of closing. And on the day of closing, Shirley, what's going to happen is we are going to go ahead and go into the title company, and we're going to sign closing docs. They're going to have you sign closing docs, and we're going to wire in the money. And around noon, it's going to record with the county recorder. And then the deal's going to be done, and title's going to cut you either a check or a wire for your proceeds from the sale. It's as simple as that, and it's the exact same as any other traditional real estate transaction. Does that make sense? So there you go. That's how you explain to a seller how the transaction process works. So I hope that helps you to have in your tool belt as you are going out there on your real estate journey trying to wholesale real estate. Guys, if you want to learn from me and if you want to be coached by me, I have a Learn How to Wholesale program that's over 50 videos that is available at reiscalers.com. And I also do one-on-one coaching calls. Those are available at jacobblink.com. So guys, there's links in the description for all of that, but I would love to be your mentor. If you found this video helpful and it was value-packed, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. It helps me reach more people, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.